Good morning and welcome in on this Monday morning, bright and sunny, quite warm Monday morning. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, and twice a week on a Monday and a Friday I come in live so that we can do a little bit of crafting together, and then there's other things that pop up on the Facebook page and things as the week goes by. So do come on and say hello if you are joining me live. Do come on and say hello if you're joining me on catch up, and do share this out with your friends. Let's share the love. I would love to invite lots of other people in to join us with our crafty fun. So what are we going to play with today? So good morning, Beryl. I was having a quick sort of flick through Pinterest, like you do, and a couple of projects caught my eye that were a bit of a, oh, never looked at that stamp set like that before moment. So I thought we'd have a bit of a play with the Waterfront stamp set and do some slightly different things with it. I think in the past it's been very much about building up lots of scenes and with mountains, and it's fabulous and it is gorgeous and I love it. And we're still going to do a little bit of scene building, but some other things as well. We're going to be creating some backgrounds with some of these stamps. So I've already been quite organised this morning. You will be very surprised to hear. And I've already cut some cardstock and things. So I think we'll go with this little pile first. So what I've got here is I've taken a piece of thick Whisper White and I've cut it in half long ways, scored it, so cut it at 10.5 centimetres that way, scored it at 14.9. So I have got a tent fold style card, so you can either have it as a tent fold or you can have it as a side opening. We're going to go tent fold. I've then got a piece of Pool Party that's going to fit on there, so that's 14.4 by 10. A piece of Granny Apple Green that is 14.4 by 8.5. and a piece of Whisper White, you can see how this is all building up, that is 8 centimetres by 14.4. And then here I've got the largest of the stitched circles from the stitched shapes and the largest of the scalloped circles from the layering circle dies, and those two sit quite nicely on each other and just give that a little bit of a background in there. So that's the cardstock and things that I've all cut ready to go. But obviously, you know, as delightful as that looks, we want to be doing a bit of stamping on there as well. Morning, Janice. Now, my Waterfront stamp set is very loved. If you were to buy your Waterfront stamp set, it would not look like this. Now, I have in the past used this with brushos, with pigment sprinkles, with all sorts of things. And it is the pigment powders that have stained the stamps, but they still work perfectly fine. It is only surface staining of the plastic. It does not in any way interfere with the ability of these stamps to stamp. Now, where is the block that I am looking for? There it is, right on the bottom. That's why I can't see it. I want this long block just here. So I'm going to take this long block and I'm going to take this long stamp just here. Morning, Caroline. And I'm going to stick that on there like that. Morning, Div. And let's take my piece of Whisper White card. We'll just pop the other bits to one side for a minute. We'll come back to those. The other thing I am going to want is my Simply Chamois, because I'm going to want to be able to clean my stamps in between times. So I'm just going to pop that just there. And then here I have got some inks, and I've got Pool Party. I've got Sahara Sand. And I've got Granny Apple Green, and I've also got a soft suede, but I don't want the soft suede just at the moment. I'm going to need that in a little bit. So we've got Pool Party, Sahara Sand, Granny Apple Green are the colours we've got. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this stamp here that we can use for, you can use as beaches or the edge of the shore. You can add water in. You can use these stamps to build up pictures, but we're going to use it to build up a background. Let me just bring in my mat. To ink that up with Pool Party, and I'm going to stamp that, give it a bit of a rub, ink it up with Sahara Sand. I'm now going to turn that round and stamp that. And you can see where this is going, Granny Apple Green. Pool Party. Sahara Sand, and I'm just twisting it round each side time so that sort of the fat edge and the thin edge are morning Jane. Oh, I was being so careful not to get that splodge off the block that I didn't get all the ink, all the stamp. There we go. Back to Pool Party. Morning Francis. Sahara Sand. And we're just going to work our way down the strip of card. And while I am doing that and trying to half concentrate and making sure I'm getting the right colour combinations, just a couple of things I wanted to flag up. One is that booking is open for my next how-to. Now my how-tos are my technique classes. Last month we did fancy folds, had fun with we did a theatre fold and we did a kite fold. This month we're going to be playing with crafting with things you find around the house is what we're going to be doing. So whether that's, well, there'll be a whole list of things that we're going to be using to craft with, so that should be a bit of fun, whether it's morning Hannah, whether it's things like cling film or salt, tin foil, some glycerin. So you can see sort of things that are household items that we're going to be having some fun with. So a bit of messy play really. So if you fancy a bit of messy play, then do come and join us for our next how-to class. And actually, because I'm not sending out a kit of product, I am sending out just a list of things that you'll need to play with. And you could, in theory, join us from anywhere in the world for that one. So that's 13th of August at 1:30 p.m. UK time. And obviously, as with all of these classes, if you're not able to be there live, I do record them. Hi Molly. Oh, am I going to send you to sleep, Hannah? Hannah's just come off night shift, so she tends to listen to me, and she nods off. I don't take it personally. I take it as a service, a bit like bedtime stories. And last but not least, I think we can squeeze one more Granny Apple Green in the bottom there. So there we've got a really lovely striped background created using a soporific voice. Thank you. So that's going to sit on there, and that's going to sit on there. So that's given us that really nice background now. So we've gone from having a very plain white piece of paper to having a piece of paper that has got some detail on it. Right, now let's take our little stitched circle now, and this is the point that we're going to start creating our scene. Going to make a scene, but of the best kind. So I think we're going to stick with our sort of straight line just here. I'm going to stick with our Sahara sand because we're going to have a bit of a sandy beach thing going on across the centre of our card. And then we're going to bring in, I think we're going to bring in this strange looking one just here. It's very stained, but as I say, that was pigment powders, possibly Brushos back in the day. But I'm going to ink that up with some Pool Party. My Pool Party that falls apart. And we're going to line that up. Excuse me, I could feel that sneeze coming. And we're going to put in some sea. And this is how these lovely stamps work. They're very forgiving. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to be allergic to the morning. They're very unforgiving. You don't have to be particularly spot on precise with them because they are sort of like a watercolour wash sort of effect. But there we have our little beach. Excuse me, island, whatever you like. So I think as we've got an island, we need a palm tree, or some palm trees. So we've got our palm tree branches and we've got our palm tree trunks and our palm tree branches and leaves on the top. I'm going to blame my husband. He said to me yesterday, it seems as if your hay fever's all much better and cleared up now. As if I get up this morning to sneezing and a streaming nose. Whatever next? Right, I am going to bring in the soft suede now for our palm trees. Where shall we have them? Have them just slightly off centre, about there. And let's bring in the tops of our trees. Ooh, got some around the edges going on there. That's not good, is it? But you will hopefully get the general idea. And then we haven't got any birds in that one, have we? So there's our little palm trees that are going to go on there. We've kept that sort of a fairly quite a masculine colourway, so it could very easily be a good card for the guys. And then we just need some sort of a greeting. Now I've picked out, there are some greetings in here, but I've actually picked up, because of the sort of cards that we've got, because they've sort of got quite a sort of modernish sort of twist to them, I thought we needed something a bit different in terms of greetings. So I think we'll have Happy Day for that one. There's a cue for a song. I won't sing to you though. Now, we could have it coming down there. We'll go for, perhaps we'll go for Sahara Sand. Let me just find a little bit of Whisper White and stamp that just there. Let's get our trimmer. Trim that off that way, and that's no problem, Hannah. Night night. We'll see you anon. Now, let's see if we can find a little piece of Granny Apple Green to back that onto. I'm going to trim it at a bit of an angle coming down this way. Oh, excuse me, sniffing. We'll stick that on there. And then we'll put this baby together. So the stamping itself is fairly simple in terms of the scene that we've built. So it just goes to show you don't have to get very bogged down in lots of mountains and lakes and trees and things if you don't want to. It's quite a useful exercise in breaking down those stamps into their individual parts and look at each of them and say, right, okay, what do you do? What shape can I make out of you? And of course the nice thing about photopolymer stamps is that you can bend them a little as well, and if that helps. Right, I'm just laying these on flat. I am going to put the final one up, at the circle up with dimensionals, but these ones I'm just laying on flat. I want a bit of a border all the way round, like that. And let's find some dimensionals. So for those of us that are joining us for the Lily Pad Stamp Club with the whale bundle, the first video has posted today. If you do want to join in with that and you haven't yet joined up, you're not too late, because you can play catch up on all of it. That will be giving you lots of inspiration for things to do with that suite of products, the Whale of a Time suite. So lots of things going on. That's a lot of my job this week. I was just starting to scribble out my sort of things to get done this week, and a lot of it is designing and creating videos, which is good fun. Cut my nails this morning. Now I can't get the back off my dimensionals. So let's put that on there. Happy day. So there we are. Nice sort of summery, going on your holidays, or perhaps not going on your holidays, but memories of going on your holidays. So a nice stripy card. So that's using that sort of sand strip, for want of a better word, as a stripe to create that background. And obviously there's no reason why we couldn't have that background going that way as well, and you could do that in all manner of colours for all manner of projects. So let's just pop the lids on these ones for now, because we might need to call on some of them. But our next card is going to be different colours. Next card is more ice cream colours, but still sort of summery, thinking of the beach. Let's just give these a bit of a clean up, pop them back in the case so that we know where to find them. So this is very definitely a stamp set they shouldn't be frightened to play with. It is one definitely to play and experiment. See, that could be spiders, couldn't it? Ooh. Hi Karen. So let's come on to card number 2. So for this card, I've got the other half of my piece of Whisper White card. So we've got one card here that opens up tentfold, and here's the other one that's going to open up tentfold. This time I've got some Daffodil Delight in the background there, and some Whisper White, and then I've taken 2 stitched rectangles. Can't think which size they were, but if you were playing about with this, you'll see which ones you want for what project you want. So we have stitched rectangles. Morning, Jackie. So let's put these to one side. We'll put those to one side again for a moment. And as I say, we've had stripes. So I think this time we're going to go for spots. Why not? Spots and stripes. Let's take a block and pick that up. And as I say, ice cream colours. I've got some Daffodil Delight, some Flirty Flamingo. Oh, bless you, Karen. You can always play catch up. Watch a bit, catch up a bit. Thinking about you, that's always a tough time. When you're having to look after the people that once looked after you, that's never easy, but also incredibly rewarding. Okay, what colour shall we start with? Let's start with Daffodil Delight, as that's the colour we've got in our background. And I'm just going to put some random Daffodil Delight spots. Now I'm thinking I'm not going to necessarily cover the complete card. Sort of going to leave a blank bit. We can always come back and put more in if we decide we want to later. But let's clean up. Take the yellow ink off. And let's come in with some Flirty Flamingo. Bless you. Well, our thoughts are with you. We send you hugs, Karen. A little bit of a blob there, but we'll see. We might come back and put another one there, but or we might cover it with a greeting or something. That's actually done that, but this one is only half a circle. That's better. And then last but not least, let's come in with some coastal. It's probably what I did with that pink one, not looking where I'm going. I haven't put it quite on the It's quite bright and fun, isn't it? We have another one coming in here, possibly just catching that corner just there. So that's really quite fun, isn't it? Those spots. Now I think we're going to be able to cover that pink up with our rectangles. Yes. And I think I quite like the fact that it doesn't go all the way over. So I'm going to leave those open, because what I'm going to come in with now, one of our favourite places to go in terms of Seaside here in the UK is heading to Norfolk, to Wells next to the sea. And one of the really lovely things about being on the beach at Wells next to the sea is all the multicoloured beach huts that you can see. So I think we will need to come in with some colours from our last one. So first of all, I think we'll put in a bit of sand. I think these stamps actually could do with a little bit of a wash, just to revitalise them slightly. Now then, what safe place have I just put all those inks? There they are. So this time I'm going to use like this sort of swirl that double backs on itself for my sand. We'll have that coming down here like that. And then I'm going to take the little beach hut. I'm going to go yellow in the middle. Oh, that's come out very green, hasn't it? There obviously was some colour on there. And I've also got colour on my ink pad now as well. That obviously was one that was put away without being re-inked. I'll carry on, but I may end up coming back and actually, no, what I will do is I'm going to stamp that's better, onto a separate piece of paper, and I shall layer that over the top in a minute. We'll have that come up on dimensionals, because we always intended that one to be 3D'd, standing out against the others. And I won't tell anybody if you don't. So there's our flirty flamingo one. Hi Emma. There's our Coastal Cabana one. So let's just get our scissors. Where there's a will, there's always a way. We'll have that one coming on there like that. I quite like that. That's very sort of quirky. Now, let's take our little beach hut. We'll have that coming over the top there. Okay, so where's my glue gun? On the floor, of course. Why wouldn't you file it on the floor? So let's stick that to this Daffodil Delight background. We will stick this. Now you can see that in true frugal fashion, I cut my Daffodil Delight stitched rectangle from my Daffodil Delight mat. Put that on there. There we go. One in the middle. Let's just pop those off, and then we'll see what greeting we can find for this one. It's really bright, fun ice cream colours there. I think we should have the enjoy the little things for this one. Just wondering how best to put that on, and even if that's the right shape, I'm not sure that that's the right shape. Let's go perhaps for here's to celebrating you. I think the fact that we've got things that are, we've got the spots in the background, but the sort of little huts are in a rectangle, so I think it needs to be sort of linear. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a piece of Whisper White card. and we will stamp that in Coastal Cabana, I think. And I think we will we'll have some scattering around of words. Let's just straighten that end up. Let's just put those on there so we don't lose them. That's quite fun. Let's stick those on. So that could be for all sorts of occasions then. You could have it for a birthday, obviously, new job, exam results, any reason you want to say, well done you, buying your first beach hut. That's not a cheap undertaking either. You could buy a small house sometimes for the price of a beach hut. They're extortionate. Here's to celebrating you. Oh, they're fun. See, by cutting up my card and things, we've whizzed through those 2 cards. So there we are. We have the Waterfront stamp set, the one where we sort of normally make mountains and forests and all sorts of things going on. But this time we've sort of really broke it down into its little elements, and instead we've got our stripes and we've got our spots, and then we've just added onto those a couple of little beach themed, summertime, bright little pictures that you can send out, whether it's to summer birthdays or, as I say, to celebrate all sorts of different occasions. So I hope you enjoyed those. They were good fun. I'm going off to I think have another cup of tea and then get cracking on my designing and filming for the rest of the week. So sending out all our love to you, Karen. We are thinking of you. A tough time, so we do send you our love. Everybody have a really lovely week. Always sort of pop on and ask if you want anything, share or whatever. It's lovely to keep in touch with you, even if I'm not coming on a daily basis. But I will see you all at the end of the week.